Good morning, children. Today in ELR, we are going to start the chapter The Morals of Chess, written by Benjamin Franklin. Now, here is a total chapter for you. I'll be sending you all a PDF of the chapter in your Google Classroom also and in your WhatsApp classroom also. Okay. From this chapter, you will be doing handwriting with spellings and make sentences. I'll be sending you all an assignment where you all will be solving up spellings and make sentences. Now this total chapter you will be getting in a PDF, and now I'll go for the explanation of the chapter. Okay. The explanation of the chapter, The Morals of Chess. The Morals of Chess is an essay on chess by the American intellectual Benjamin Franklin, which I already told you all. He was an American, okay, and his writing, The Morals of Chess, was first published in the Columbian magazine in the year 1786 in the month of December. So he was an American, Benjamin Franklin, and his write-up, that is The Morals of Chess, was first published in a Columbian magazine in the year 1786 in the month of December. Now, what does he write in this chapter? Now, first of all, about Benjamin Franklin. He was one of the founding fathers of the United States. Okay. He played chess from at least 1733. Evidence suggests that he was an above average player, but he never reached the top level. He was an above average player. That means what? He played very well, but still he never reached the top level of the game. But still he loved the game so much that he outlined an essay about it around the year 1732. But he did not publish it until 1786. He started playing chess from at least 1733, and he did not publish it until 1786 about his write-up. His write-up he did not publish until 1786, when he was an average player, but he could not reach the top level. In a short prologue in which Franklin details the history of chess, he gets to the main part of his essay. Okay. After a short prologue in which Franklin details the history of chess, he gives a detailed description of the history of chess. He gets to the main part of chess. What is the main part? He compares chess to our life and writes that foresight, circumspection, and caution, these three things, remember, foresight, circumspection, and caution can be learned from the game. These are the three main things which we learn from the game. That is foresight. The second one is circumspection, and the third one is caution. I'm going to explain you all these three. Okay. How foresight, circumspection, and caution can help us in our life, and how do we learn it from the game. Okay. After describing the effects chess can have on one's perception of life, he describes a set of moral rules which a chess player should hold. So after this perceptions of life which he has described in his write-up, He also describes a set of moral rules which a chess player should hold, including not to cheat and not to disturb the opponent. When we play chess, we learn how without cheating we can come up to victory, and how without disturbing our opponent we can come up to victory. Franklin suggests that the opponent be told about his mistakes also. And he makes, for example, if he would lose a piece of in the game. Okay. Now the next part. The game of chess, according to Franklin, is not merely an idle amusement. Several very valuable qualities of mind useful in the course of human life are to be acquired or strengthened by the game, so as to become habits which will be ready on all occasions for us. We learn many things from the game. Now first what we learn is foresight. What is foresight? Which looks a little into futurity and considers the consequences that may attend an action. For it is continually occurring to the player during the game. What does the player think? If I move this piece, what will be the advantage or disadvantage of my situation? The new situation which I will be facing. What use can my adversary, means my opponent, make of it to annoy me? What other moves can I make to support it and to defend myself from his attacks? Now these are some things which we should learn for our life too. Foresight, which Franklin says in case of the game, is also applicable for us during our lifetime. We should always think before we leap, before doing a work, what will be the advantages or the disadvantages of my new situation after doing the work? What use can my opponent make of the work which I have done? And what other moves can I make to support my work and also to defend myself? This is what is foresight. The next was Franklin speaks of is circumspection. Now what is circumspection? Circumspection is something which surveys the whole chessboard, the total world which is in front of the player which is playing the game, or the scene of action which is in front of him. The relations of the several pieces on the board and the situations every piece is following. The dangers that they are respectively exposed to. Every piece in the chessboard is exposed to danger. The several possibilities of their aiding each other, how they aid each other, how they help each other. The probabilities that the adversary may make, the probabilities that the opponent may make. This or that move, which move will help me or help my opponent, and attack this or the other piece. Whether he is going to attack my piece or the other piece which is there on my board. And what different means can be used to avoid his stroke? What are the different means I can use to avoid his stroke? Or turn its consequences against him? Or turn the consequences of my play against him? Now, these are simple things which help us to lead our life to circumspection. The situation of the whole board means the whole life which is in front of us. Okay, the several possibilities of how we can aid each other in our life. How are there the probabilities that an opponent may attack me if I am wrong somewhere? And what different means can I use to avoid his stroke or turn the consequences towards me? Now the next what he teaches is caution. Caution means how to be cautious, not to make our moves too hastily. This habit is best acquired by observing strictly the laws of the game. Now, what are the laws of the game? Every one of us might not know. There are some laws, such as if you touch a piece, you must move it somewhere. If you set it down, you must let it stand there. And it is therefore best that these rules should be observed, as the game becomes thereby more the image of human life, and particularly of war, the war which we face in our day-to-day life. If you have set down something, you must let it stand there and observe whether you are right or wrong and face it. And if you touch a piece, if you are with some work, you must have it done. Done in the best way you can, so that your move becomes the image of your successful human life. Okay? Now the next part. Lastly, what do we learn by chess? We learn the habit of not being discouraged by the present appearance in the state of our affairs. What are the affairs? The affairs of our daily life. We learn not to be discouraged by what is happening in the present situation. We should always be encouraged and we should move forward. The habit of hoping for a favorable change. If some unfavorable thing happens to us, we should hope that no, the next moment there will be a favorable change for me and I will be successful in my life. And that of persevering in the search of resources. Persevering in the search of resource which will be useful for me in my life. The game is so full of events. There is such a variety of turns in it. The turns of human life are also faced here. We all can accumulate ourselves and think of what will be our moves in our life. The fortune of it is so subject to sudden vicissitudes. And one so frequently, after long contemplation, discovers the means of extricating oneself from a supposed unsurmountable difficulty. Lots of difficulties, but one learns how to come out of such difficulties in life. That one is encouraged to continue the contest to the last, not to move out in between, not to say that I am lost. In hopes of victory, we should always be in hope of victory in our life from our own skill, the skill which we have, the skill which we develop from our families, from our friends, from our teachers, from everywhere. Whatever skill we develop, we should use those in order to be successful in our life, or at least of getting a stalemate from the negligence of our adversary. Our adversary should not be looking at us with a negligence. He should think that no, I am a great player, though I have lost. It's not that I am unsuccessful in my life. I have got the quality of being successful in my life. If our adversary is long in playing, you ought not to hurry him. These are the things we should learn also. If your adversary is long in playing, if he takes a long time, you ought not to hurry him or express any uneasiness at his delay. You should not sing, nor whistle, nor look at your watch, nor take up a book to read, nor make a tapping with your feet on the floor, or with your fingers on the table, nor do anything that may disturb his attention, because he is also in the verge of his game. For all these things displease, and they do not show your skill in playing. These habits, they show that you are not a skillful player. If you do such things, even in your life, people will not say that you are a very good person in your life. But your craftiness or your rudeness will be shown in the game. You ought not to endeavor to amuse and deceive your adversary too. You should not deceive him by pretending to have made bad moves and saying that you have now lost the game. You are deceiving him. No, should not. In order to make him secure and careless and inattentive to your schemes. For this is fraud and deceit, not skill in the game. You should be skillful in your game. You should not be winning by fraud and deceit. So this is what is all described in the chapter. Okay. Please go through the chapter properly, and if you find any problem in the chapter, kindly consult with me during your classes. I shall help you all with all my skills. Okay. And thank you. We will be doing some assignments from this chapter. Thank you, children.